Welcome back to part 2 of my interview with Chronic Man, one of the leaders of Mavericks OG. We have a bunch more questions left, and I'm super excited to continue this. Alright, so Chronic Man, are you ready for another round?
Yes, sir.
Alright,
Yes,
alright,
sir. I'm
alright.
ready.
Now we have three questions from Biraju Mavericks. So the first question is, if you could use a different class weapon on a survivor, what would you use on which class and why? So for example, hand a revolver to a scout.
That's actually funny because one of the things that I originally thought about the game was, when a zombie would get close to you, wouldn't it be nice for my ranged survivor to be able to stab them? So I think that would be my answer. Range classes could have maybe a melee weapon, and so whenever they were to be approached by a zombie, rather than fall back and shoot again, just stab them. So to avoid the additional aggro.
Hmm. Or I mean, like being able to change your survivor class. That's could be sweet. Maybe this could be a unique ability to the heroes only. Maybe just to have them more powerful. It's
Ooh, that's there you go. That's actually really good idea. Being able to switch the what heroes are, what their class
yeah,
is.
especially now from the
Wow, I
show.
never even thought of that.
Because they've been using different weapons as well in the show. So it's going to be nice to have them
Oh yeah,
to change class. Maybe not during the mission, but just maybe before the mission on the mission screen over there. Maybe
yeah. Be able to just kind of
toggle
to
between
outfit
different
the
classes and
heroes
different
to
weapons. Yeah, yeah.
whatever weapons you wanted. Yeah.
Nice. Next question from Biraju. What do you like the most about this game? I believe you already answered that in the previous part. Um,
Yeah, it's just the family atmosphere of the guilds. Not even just the Mavericks guild itself, but like all the guilds. Like when I've visited Rickrollers, like those guys, they welcomed me like I was just a new member to their guild, knowing that I was only going to be there a week. And I mean, it was cool. It was just like going to a new family reunion, and everyone's just really nice. So.
nice, nice. Final question from Biraju. Which challenge is your all-time favorite, and which challenge do you hate the most?
Kaboom will always be my favorite. Whenever I joined Watchtower, I was a mediocre player. Don't even remember how many stars I was able to get. Maybe like 350, and picking up the small things from uh, Kirkleg and Jindy and a few of the other Watchtower 8 players, Nick and Pujmas. I was able to start getting 400 and 415, and then I learned how to do the repeatables with interrupt, and then the week after I learned, they changed interrupt. So I was like, oh, okay, so all right, I don't get to do that anymore. But then when Kaboom came, it was like I can kill everyone on the first turn and then do what I need to do and get out. So I was able to get, I think, 600 stars the first time, and then the next time 802, and then after the tier it was 1430. So definitely always will be my favorite. And then the army camp is very similar, but it's a little bit harder. It's not, the zombies aren't clustered as much, so it'll be Kaboom. And then I don't really have a challenge that I hate. Um, but the firewalkers right now are causing me to not be able to play on my phone. I have an older Galaxy phone, and the screen lag from those firewalkers is, ooh, it makes me want to throw my phone. So I have to play on my tablet, which I have to have Wi-Fi for. So if I'm out doing something, I'm not able to get any stars, pretty much. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
maybe you're.
because I
Oh, yeah, continue.
I need to upgrade my phone is what I need to do.
Invest in the phone, not the gold.
Yeah, yeah,
All right. At least your guildmates know now if you're not why you're not getting stars. I guess.
yeah. During that one week where we had 3 fire maps, I just I would, when I was out and about, I would just play the 3 levels that didn't have firewalkers. So then when I got home, I was like, all right, I just have to play those 3 fire maps.
All right. Sweet. Now, next two questions are from Flying Cow King. Is that your name because you have chronic muscle spasms? Probably. What?
uh, Man, I've been known as Chronic Man on Xbox Live for about 12 years. So that's where it's come from, and it's obvious reasons. So
Nice. All right. What do you think Eugene smells like? What?
pickles, obviously,
Oh yes. That's.
pickles.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice. I was thinking about something else, but anyway, yeah, pickles are nice. Sweet. All right. Next question from RFG 1982. How do you think NG could improve competition between players and guilds and use leaderboards better?
This is something that a lot of us have had talks about. I just don't think that they're. I'm not sure what they would be able to do with this style of game. Um, Originally I had thought maybe there was a way to do some type of guild war with the outpost, but with it being an I mean you're kind of limited to what competition you're gonna get as like per the game, and then for the leaderboards, I mean it's just about who's willing to play more than the other. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
some of us might have better outfits for our survivors, might have higher tiered survivors, but it's not really based off what your survivor is. It's about how much you're willing to push. So it's pretty much at its peak for competition, I believe. Maybe introduce a leaderboard that tracks, more than just a week like it did before. Originally, I think it was a bi-weekly leaderboard where it was a combination of 2 weeks together.
All right.
And then when they had that leaderboard issue there for a while, it came back to just being one week monitor. So maybe introduce it back to where it's bi-weekly. I don't know. I like it the way it is now. I think it's about as good competition wise as you could get.
Right, nice. I mean, you mentioned Guild Wars a little while ago, and I have this idea, like, where right now you have three survivors a mission. Let's say you can get up to six survivors a mission, and you need to find one survivor is controlled by one player from your guild. So you have six players from a guild controlling and you guys are playing one mission, and you're doing like a versus battles against other six survivors of another guild with six different people playing, and you do like a
Mm-hmm.
all out
Yeah,
war type of thing, that the one that's like upcoming in the season 8 right now. I mean, that's gonna be a lot of work. I guess it's probably gonna be impossible. I don't know even know if it's gonna be possible.
I think
um,
I think if NG would take focus from updating this current game and would make a No Man's Land 2, that would be something that they would be able to do. But from everything that I've read about NG, they've never increased the amount of developers that they have working on the No Man's Land project. So I think that that's been kind of one of their not, I don't want to say downfall, because it's an extremely successful game. I mean, I've played so many other app games, and I've never felt like, all right, I'm gonna quit this game. You know what I mean? I just delete the app and never come back. Like that won't ever happen. Like the servers will have to shut down for me to quit playing the game ultimately.
hmm. I mean, it's true
So
they're working on another two games, so obviously they probably have more people there. But it's
that's what I said about the AR. If they could somehow integrate your survivor into that AR game, it would it would be a lot cooler than just No Man's Land. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And what your idea is pretty cool too. It would take another. That would be that would have to be almost more of a console game. I think. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but it's quite. I mean,
But
I don't know.
it's so doable though. I mean, it's
I
doable. They just have
don't
to
think it's
find a
gonna
way
be
to do it.
possible
You
for
know?
like a mobile game though. It's too much graphics, I
Yeah.
guess, too much stuff happening on screen, too much
Well,
coding.
they have those MOBA games like League of Legends. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yeah, I know, I know. Yeah.
Um, so I mean, it's kind of like that same premises. It's just you're using the survivors. I don't know. It's just a matter of them figuring out a way to do it with the code and to make it happen.
We'll see,
Um,
we'll see.
I really like that idea though.
We'll
That's
never
pretty
know.
cool. Maybe not 6 on 6. Maybe
Four
maybe 4 on 4 or
or
something.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. Couple of questions from Gindi. Mavericks were one of the few single out teams during the most recent Stargate glitch. Looking back, what are your thoughts?
So, unfortunately, I was one of the people who communicated the glitch to my fellow guildmates. I felt a lot of guilt for being responsible for a good amount of players being banned, for a week. A few of those players were only banned for like 3 days. But I was really quick to accept responsibility on the forums, Facebook posts. I saw a few Facebook posts where people were talking out about it, and I'm not one to sit back and hide while people were, they weren't really bad mouthing it, but I understand where they're coming from. We exploited something we should not have exploited, but at the time we weren't doing it so we could take over the game. It was more or less like, hey, look, we can get all these rewards this week and not have to, actually play the game as hard. I don't know. It was a stupid thing, and no one really should have done it, and I should have never even looked in the glitch section on the forums, and that's kind of why I kind of took a step back from the forums, because I felt like I was too involved, and then I saw something I shouldn't have saw, and then I did it and shared it, and I mean I still feel bad because I know it's kind of tarnished our name a little bit because we were a newer guild anyways, so then we were kind of dubbed as a cheating guild, which I mean obviously we're not cheating now, so but still like having that as like a thing on our permanent record isn't ever good.
It's all in the past right now. I mean, like, some people, some guilds just do it because other guilds do it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard people saying that as an excuse, but it's all in the past, I guess, right now. So
No, yeah, that was my biggest thing is I wasn't gonna sit back and be like, I took full responsibility for it, and I mean anyone can go back and look, and I mean I didn't hide, I didn't try to like push it off on someone else. I owned up for it, and unfortunately I was the leader of a guild or multiple guilds, so I shared it to my guild people, and I think OG was shut down that week. I was the leader of the guild at the time. I co-lead OG with Pick. We both were banned, so neither of us were able to pass leadership to anybody. So anyone who was in OG that wasn't banned, I think they joined our next tier guild down, and they just played there for a week. But it was pretty much the majority of OG was banned. We even had people that used the glitch like 2 times that got banned. So I mean, it was just kind of, and I heard stories where people used the glitch like 20 times and then they didn't get banned at all. So I don't know.
right.
It is what it is.
Would you have done anything different regarding play if NG had been more proactive in their communication regarding the issue?
In all honesty, most of the players who used the glitch did so on just a few maps that were harder to do, I guess. And so when we saw the backlash of like the community, not liking that it was being done, we communicated to our players, hey guys, it looks like there's going to be some type of punishment maybe from NG. They never said anything, but there were so many players from so many angles that were upset that I pretty much told them like, hey, just stop doing it. There's really no reason to do it at this point. Like, I think most of us had hit the max rewards for the game anyways. At that time, like, you stopped getting rewards after 1,000, I think. I can't remember, but we still had players who had like 3 or 4 maps of their challenge screen that had like 4 stars or 6 stars, you know what I mean? So they played those maps throughout the rest of the week. And I remember on a few occasions, I would get messages like, hey, why are y'all still using it? And I'm like, we're not still using it. It's just players finishing the week out. So, I mean, I guess we could have just had everyone, halt all production of stars at that point. But, I mean, who am I to tell individual players, like, no, you can't play at all anymore? I mean, we all got banned anyways, so.
So how has the positivity and maybe negatively affected you and the team? I think you answered that already. I mean, you guys were.
I don't really think it had any real negativity on our group. Our leaderboard guild, it's a weekly leaderboard stand. So I mean, we weren't on the leaderboard that week. We spent a fun week, playing on alts, a lot more time in the chats, harassing the people who were able to play. I think NG actually gave everyone a bonus phone weekend That was the extra event for the weekend. So that kind of hit home for a lot of us because most of the people who used that glitch were like top star earners. So that not having those bonus phones kind of was just salt on the wound.
Yeah. All right, nice. What advice would you give NG in future situations like this?
Whew, no,
Please tell us
really,
beforehand.
it
You know?
yeah, it's a glitch, and all games are gonna have glitches until they're found and they're fixed. So, I mean, the fact that NG, they were made aware of the glitch, which I mean, a lot of the people, there was a speculation that somebody leaked the glitch onto the forums,
Yeah, I think I saw a
which I
forum
mean,
post
that's
back then, and I believe because
yeah, that's I was told that there was a post on the forums about a glitch. So I went onto the forums and looked. And sure enough, there was an account that was made and they had one post. It was the post that they made and it was talking about closing the game down, blah blah blah. And so I took what they wrote and I, experimented with it and figured it out and was like, "Oh, wow." So you're pretty much able to get stars by playing Outposts. I was like, that's crazy. And, I made a video and I shared the video to everyone that I knew pretty much and was like, look at this glitch. This is crazy. And I mean, I shared that video to Zbot on Facebook because I kind of talked to him on Facebook Messenger a little bit here and there. I've had issues with my account before, and when I did, I talked to him individually. And ever since then, I hit him up randomly about things. Try to get extra information from him, which he never gives me. But I mean, I reported it to him, and I don't think at that time that I reported it, I don't think that they had a video of anyone doing the glitch. So I don't know if that hurt my case as a leader, being reporting myself or not. But I mean, I just felt like at the time that it was good for them to see what was happening, not just know that there's a glitch in place.
All right. I mean, I would if there are glitches, I will usually record them, but just because so I can send them to NG, for the visuals to just help them, solve the problems and the glitches. But
Yeah,
anyway, all right. What did you do during your time off? I guess the week when you were banned. I guess.
yeah. I spent a lot more time on my Xbox, which as involved in the game as I am now, I do neglect my console much more than I used to, and obviously, with my family, my wife and kids.
All right. Nice. When your group created Mavericks, did you imagine that it would become what it is today? What do you think was the key from Mimica?
So when we left, we joined Shmari, and he had already kind of had Mavericks established, but it was a single guild. It was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. We hit him up. We're like, "Hey, man, a bunch of us are leaving, and we are looking to make a new family guild." And he was kind of like, or he was kind of hesitant about us just all joining his thing because that's kind of what he wanted to get away from was the large scale guild. And he pretty much was like, I don't want to have anything to do with like a large scale thing. And we're like, well, we'll keep it small, which didn't happen, but it we didn't think it was going to take off the way it did because initially there was like a group of us, like one guild or two guilds, and then the next week it was like another two guilds. So we went from having Shamari's guild with 20 people to our guild with 20 people to three other guilds joining, and it was like overnight we had six guilds. Now we have I think like 15 if we count our French divisions.
Damn.
So yeah, and I mean a lot of leaderboard players we have join us because we maintain that top global spot. I think most weeks we're in the top five, but now there's other guilds like Sister Squad. They've really stepped it up. They're kicking our ass now. So
Competitiveness is always nice. Keeps you motivated and to play them
yes, oh
challenges.
yeah, absolutely.
Grind for those stars. All right. What have been the five players with you've played that have impressed you the most? Ooh.
Yeah, this is a hard question because I'm a social butterfly when it comes to the game. People that are in other guilds on Facebook or whatever, I've always been really cool with people. Sharing strategies, whatever, trying to see what they have different. How did they get more stars than me this week? I look at, I ask to see, can I see your survivors? Can I see what weapons they use? You know what I mean? And now there's badges, so it's a little bit more involved. But I'm going to go with Armando from Forsaken. He also joined DDP. I think he's with A Family now. He was a player that I originally shared a lot of information with on the Facebook group page, and someone that I could always try and like keep up with. Like he would send me his challenge map on Thursday morning when he would go to bed after Wednesday, and he would have like 1,200 stars. I'm like, all right. So then the next day I would have 1,200 stars. And then I would send it to him, and he'd be like, "Yeah, man, that's awesome." And then we'd just go back and forth. Um, and then I'm gonna have to go with Mimica. He's one of our Mavericks OG players. He is a complete free to play player. He does not buy gas. He does not buy gold. He does not buy weapons. He has never spent $1 on the game,
Oh damn.
and he still manages to score in our top 5 in our guild every week. And it just amazes me that he has the time management to get through the week and put up those stars. Because I mean, I am the most impatient person in the world. When I sit down to play, if I have an injury, I heal the person. There's no wait time for me. If I have time to play, I'm playing. So like the fact that he gets an injury and he uses an alternate survivor to continue his playing time. I mean, that's just so impressive that he can do that. And then another Mavericks player, Carvin Kane, he spends most of his time in our Mavericks USA guild, but when we do our true top 20 for Mavericks OG, he'll come play in OG with us, and he will only buy a UG on Wednesday. He's in the Philippines, so his time schedule is a little bit different than us here in the US, but he'll put up 1,200 that first day, just like I did on my best day, and then he'll manage to time manage the rest of the week to hit 1,400, 1,500 stars. And I mean, it's just amazing to see these players who don't heal. You know what I mean? That's just, I don't understand how they do it. I couldn't do it. I know that I couldn't. I don't have, I used to set alarms all the time. I just don't think that the alarms for healing would be as efficient, for the cooldown. Another player that I had met on the Facebook page, Mel, she was the leader of Dixon's. I can't remember the second name. It's Dixon's Hideaway or something. I think that's one of their other guilds. But she's one of the leaders of them, and she would always, kind of like Armando, we would message individually, share screenshots, survivors, stuff like that. And over time, she was like, would it be possible for me to join OG? And I was like, yeah, I mean, you're better than most of us. I mean, because she got 2,000 stars just the other week, and I mean, that's crazy. That's a lot of stars, a lot of time, and she's been one of our best assets to OG because when she is in our guild, everyone is pushing harder because she's there. Like having somebody that has a 300 star gap, when you're at 1,500 stars and somebody has 300 more stars than you, that is incentive. If that's not incentive, I don't know what is. And then the last two would be, it's actually, the last one is two people. It's going to be Nick and Pick would be my fifth choice. They have been with me since Watchtower, and it has always been those two. Those guys would be my best friends of the game. We've always had a side group chat with just me and him. We had another member that left and joined a new guild, which Mimica is actually our new. We're considered the Four Horsemen, and we just kind of, it's kind of like our side chat. If somebody's like, hey, how did you beat that level in the distance? That's where we would do that rather than go to like a large group chat and ask. A little bit more individual. But Nick was in Watchtower 8 with me the entire time I was in Watchtower, and Pick was actually the leader of Watchtower 10. And there's just two guys that I've bonded with over the last year or so.
Sweet, nice. Cool. All right. Final question for Mimica. Do you still enjoy the game? Have you thought about quitting it? If you thought about it, is there anything other than your guild that has stopped you?
I do greatly still enjoy playing the game. Even if I don't play until Sunday evening, it's a part of the challenge for me now. Uh, it's a challenge for me personally to see, how many stars can I get if I procrastinate through the week. Which, I mean, I'm not a really completely busy person. It's not like I live a busy life to where I don't have time to play. I just find that it's more enjoyable for me to play the game at the end of the week now, because if I play through the week, I feel like I will burn out faster. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like I've spent 2 years playing this game, and every week I push, or at least I used to push, and I mean, I see a lot of veteran players quitting, retiring. They're like, I'm deleting the game, and I personally know how much time and money they spent, and I can't justify just quitting like that. It would be something that I always play, whether it's having a low minimum guild that I run, or doing what I do now, where I just play on Sunday evenings and just try to get the most I can. Uh, I have thought about quitting, but I just take small breaks. Like I said, I don't play on Mondays and Tuesday. It's a complete no. I do not play on Monday and Tuesday. I log in, I collect the free phone call, I get my restock, which I only normally get one restock. I don't even do all three of them.
Hmm.
So,
Nice.
but yeah, the money that I've invested would be my pretty much the main reason why I would not ever quit the game. The servers will have to shut
Yeah. All right. And now we're gonna wrap up with three questions from Facebook. What is your favorite survivor trait that you won't play without?
So I mainly use ranged teams. I very rarely use the scout or the warrior. I'll use a bruiser on occasion, like on archives. That's a really great map for a bruiser early on. But sure shot is always going to be my favorite trait. I love planting my feet and just relying on a critical attack, because I think I have 8-star survivors, and their sure shots percentage is like over 60%, I believe. So that is 60% to a critical attack if I don't move. And yeah, I know that as you go up through the recommended survival levels, that 60% probably gets nerfed a little bit, maybe a 10% reduction. I'm not really sure how that works, but you know, with that high critical percentage, I mean, that's you're doing the max damage. So that's the most important trait, I think, in my eyes, is having that critical attack. And with badges, it's even more useful now, because you're able to stack damage and critical damage on your survivors. So you're pretty much able to do. I think I saw a scout do 36,000 damage the other day with the ruthless
Ooh,
with ruthless,
damn.
and I was like, wow, that's extremely impressive.
All right. Um, what makes Mavericks team so amazing and set them apart from other guilds?
I'm gonna go with the people that are in the guild and how we all get along so well. Um, it's like we've been friends for years, but most of us haven't really known each other for other than a year or a little bit longer than that. We have so much support for each other. Um, I don't want to say we are the best gaming family, but I feel like it's the best gaming family that I've ever been a part of. There's been situations where a player's device broke, and a group of Mavericks came together and they pooled money, and they bought the guy a phone, and they sent it to him, and he was in a country where it wasn't easy to receive a phone. And I mean, it's just the things that people have done, and I've seen them do. It's not just about money. You know what I mean? It's about the kindness of not really knowing who that person is, other than you just play a video game with them. But a group of people were able to come together and be like, well, let's get him a device. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Nice. I didn't know that there was like examples like these ones, buying people's phone and shipping it to another country. All right, that's
Yeah.
I guess that's what makes you guys unique. I guess. Right. Final question. Please tell me one thing you think Angie does that's great, and one thing you think Angie does that should be done differently, and why.
I think NG continues to update the game, and that in itself is the key component to success for any game. Um, that being said, I also think they should stop increasing the level cap. That ultimately is, I think, what will cause the most veteran players to decrease their activity or to quit, is the level cap increase. Because I was kind of under the impression that when we hit 20, that they were going to end it. I don't know why I was under that impression. I guess 20 is like a good number to end on. But whenever they went to 21, I knew that 21's not it. 22 is not going to be it. It's just going to continue to go up. I think. I think 30 would be the ultimate place to stop. But that's obviously a long way away from now. Um, and I think they need to try to find a different way to add to the game, like they did with the badges. And that's why I kind of mentioned about mixing badges. If you look in the badge, the building, the component building, there's a coming soon section on the left. I don't know if you've noticed
Yeah,
that.
I know.
I think I think that they might add a way to where you can combine three badges and then like get a new badge, which to me that would be another good way to add to you know making badges, because I know a lot of people complain, well, I just farmed all that time to get these badges and then I made the badge and it ended up being rare. Yeah, that's disappointing that you used epic badges and a fragment and still got a rare. But what if you can take that rare and two other rares, combine them, and have another chance at getting an epic badge? You know what I mean? It would just add another element of like giving something to the players that they lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting what's gonna be coming soon on that section, but it's not a bad idea. I mean, I never really thought about it this way to use your 1, 2, and 3 star badges and to get a chance at getting a 4 star, maybe a 5 star, maybe by mixing 2, 3, 4 stars. I don't know, but yeah, I mean 5 stars is super hard to get as a badge. It's never guaranteed. You have either some chance to know, but it's I guess it's not that big. But yeah, I mean hopefully they can change it. They have their stats over there, so we'll see what they do. But yeah, that's it. The final question. Do you have anything final words to say, and before we wrap this up? To your guild, maybe,
I
I don't
can't
know,
really think.
something.
I mean, shout out to Beerju for pretty much being like the matriarch of our family. I mean, she pretty much handles every aspect of our family, transfers, drama. I mean, she's literally like, I mean, without her, I don't know if we would have as much success with everything, especially in the most recent months. Because I mean, I definitely am slacking as a leader. I let her take care of most things, and I know that Pick and me, we co-lead OG, but she handles so much more than just her. She's not a leader of one guild anymore. She's like a leader of the whole family. So
Right. Oh, and with that, we are gonna be wrapping up the second part and of the interview with Chronic Man. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope your guild actually enjoyed it and the players that actually watch this. And hopefully, maybe they're getting more motivated to play the game and get those last stars. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's it. We Chronic Man. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and as always, I'll see you guys all on the next video.